Hi everybody, welcome back. This video is for if you could not make it to class today, although I hope everyone was able to and that no one has to watch the video. That is my goal here, is that everyone makes the Zoom call and nobody has to log on later and hop onto our video. But that may not be the case, so let's take a look at question number 1. Today we're working with independent compound probability. So we're asked, what is the probability of rolling a 4 on a number cube and then pulling out a red marble out of a bag that contains 3 red, 2 black, and 5 yellow marbles? So, finding the probability of pulling out a 4, then pulling out a red marble. And to calculate the compound probability here, we're going to multiply these two together. So we're finding the probability of 4, and then we're going to multiply that by the probability of pulling out a red marble. So probability of pulling out a 4, as we know in a number cube, is going to be 1 over 6. Only one side has a 4 on it. Probability of pulling out a red marble, there's going to be 3 red marbles, and the total number of marbles in the bag is 3 plus 2 plus 5 is going to be 10. So we're now going to multiply these two together. Remember, when you multiply two fractions, multiply the numerators together. That's going to be 3 over the denominators multiplied together. That's going to be 60. And we can simplify that to be 1 over 20. And it's fine to leave it in this form. 1 over 20 is going to be A-OK. So the probability of rolling a 4 on a number cube then pulling out a red marble is going to be 1 out of 20. Awesome. Taking a look at question number 2. We're going to roll right through these this morning. I was watching this evening. Not sure exactly when I'll be watching this, but I'm doing this in the morning. Diamond is playing a game. In the game, she has to spin a spinner that is divided into equal sections of orange, red, purple, and pink. Let's make this. It's going to have a circle there. Going to have one section of red, like it says there. Do I have orange? Probably not. We can do pink at least. There's going to be pink here. So one section of pink, maybe that's purple, unclear. One section of, this is not going that well. We're just going to ignore that. This is going to be orange. And then we're going to have one section of purple as well. We're going to ignore the colors there, purple. So this is going to be divided into 4 sections, and we know that the probability of each section is going to be 1/4. Each one of these takes up 1/4 of the entire shape, of the entire spinner there. So here we're looking for the probability of landing on pink and then on red. So we're finding pink, let's call that P, and then red. So we're going to have to multiply these together. We're going to have to multiply the probability of pulling out a pink by the probability of pulling out a red. Or not pulling out, but landing on red. Probability of pink is going to be 1/4. We're going to multiply that by the probability of landing on red, which is also going to be 1/4. That's going to give us 1 over 16 is going to be our answer to that one. 1 over 16 is going to be our probability of landing on pink on the first spin and then red on the second spin. Awesome. As we had before, independent practice questions, so please pause and answer these. So please pause and answer these, and then when you're ready, when you've done them, please resume the video to check your work. All right. I'm assuming you've paused, answered the questions, and are now checking your work. Let's take a look at question number 3. When rolling a die and flipping a coin, what's the probability of P greater than 5 and then tails? So looking for probability of greater than 5 and then tails. So multiply these two together. Probability of rolling a number greater than 5, and then multiply that by the probability of tails. So probability of landing on a greater number than 5. On a number cube, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. However, only one of those numbers is greater than 5, which is 6. That's going to be 1 over 6. Probability of landing on tails, as usual, is going to be 1/2. 1/6 times 1/2 is going to give us 1 over 12 as our answer. 1 over 12 is going to be our answer to that one. Let's take a look at question number 4. Lita has a coin with heads on one side and tails on the other side. That's going to be a standard coin with heads on one side and tails on the other side. It's going to flip it in the air 3 times. What is the probability of the coin landing tails on the first flip and heads up on twice on the last 2 flips? So probability of tails, heads, and then heads. So we can just set that up how we would normally. It's already written out for us. So it's going to be probability of tails, heads, heads. Probability of tails each time is going to be 1/2. Remember, we have 2 sides of the coin, 1/2 for each of them. Oop, that was not. Let's do a little multiplication sign there. Times 1/2. We know that 1/2, 2 times 2 times 2 is going to be 8. So probability of landing on tails, then heads is going to be 1 over 8. Alrighty, and we have our final question here. Question number 5. There are 4 green jelly beans, 2 white jelly beans, and 5 purple jelly beans in a jar. So we're going to have a total of 4 plus 2 plus 5 is going to be 11 jelly beans, 11 beans in the jar. What is the probability of choosing a white jelly bean and then a purple if you put the white jelly bean back in the jar? So we are going to be replacing here. So for the probability of, oh no, that's so big, purple, then white, we're going to multiply these two together. Probability of pulling out a purple jelly bean, then multiply that by the probability of pulling out a white jelly bean, just like that. So probability of purple is going to be 5 over 11, because we have 5 purple jelly beans and 11 total jelly beans. We're going to multiply that by the probability of pulling out a white jelly bean, which is going to be 2 white jelly beans, and we replaced it, so there's going to still be 11 jelly beans left in the jar. Multiply these two together, we get 5 times 2 is 10, 11 times 11 is 121. We can't simplify that, so our fraction is going to be 10 over 121 is the probability of pulling out a purple jelly bean and then a white jelly bean. Alrighty, that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Once again, you're supposed to be on the Zoom call, but if you can't make it for whatever reason, I still want you to learn, so make sure you fill out the classwork in the Google Not folder classroom and do the homework as well. Alrighty, thank you very much for coming, everybody, and I will see everybody tomorrow.